Hello everyone, George here again. I know I haven't posted a video of me sparring or training for a little while. Again, as I mentioned in the previous video, schedule's a little bit off and haven't been doing that much sparring or sparring at the last minute. I don't have time to set up the phone and capture it. But trust me, I've still been boxing and doing training, and hopefully after my schedule is a bit less wonky, kind of get back to sparring and more sparring videos. And I know I need to do another basic boxing video soon, so it's all on my plate of stuff to do. But today I wanted to kind of step back for a bit. It's been about 4 months and change since I started on this more intense training regimen with Carlos over at Blue Boy Boxing. And I wanted to take a time to kind of step back and assess where I am, my thoughts, my insights, and kind of where I move forward from here. But before anything, I want to say two things. First of all, huge shout out to Blueberry Boxing, to Coach Blue, to Coach Carlos, to Coach Nina, who I call the distraction. She knows why if she sees this video. They've been super kind to me, super supportive, made me feel safe that I can do this thing and not be look like a complete idiot or fool. Very supportive. And they even pushed me a little bit to try to do better next time. So a huge shout out to them. The second thing I want to remind people, because I didn't put in the last video, that I'm not a professional boxer. I'm not a professional boxing coach. So this is all my personal insight. Whatever I do, a boxing basic video, it's this is what I think and see. I don't want people to somehow think that what I'm talking about is the gospel. It is not. There are a lot of different ways to learn, ways to train, technique, styles, all that good stuff. So those two things out the way. So first I want to kind of assess health wise, because I think that's important, to kind of start with. So yes, I'm in much better shape than I was 4 months ago. My cardio is better. When I first started, I can barely run the half mile at the start of the session that me and Carlos do. It's totally different than when you do the boxing class. It's a little bit more intense, so my cardio is definitely better. I have a much better time for the half mile. We often do a half mile at the start and a half mile at the end of the class. So my times are much better. My cardio is better. It's not really kind of where it should be. I need to improve a little bit more on my cardio, which translates into keeping a good pace in the ring, believe it or not. As a side bar, someone asked me the other day, what is the best exercise for boxing? Besides jump rope, which a lot of people do, it is, believe it or not, running. If you run or jog a certain amount of miles per day, you're actually getting the best exercise for boxing, because that helps increase your heart rate, increase your stamina, increase your cardio kind of thing. Believe it or not, just running. I'm not a great runner because I have super flat feet, so I get shin splints quite easily, but I'm improving as a runner. So one thing you can do if you don't want to try to jump into a heavy running schedule, one thing I do when I go by myself sometimes is that I will start on the treadmill. I will run for 1 minute, jog, and then kind of walk for the next minute. What that duplicates is the 1 minute round or minute and a half round that I will be doing, and then they kind of sitting in the corner for another minute. So as a side note, someone asked me about that. I want to make sure get that in there. So cardio is much better. I'm in much better shape. In terms of weight, I've lost about 4 to 5 pounds, which is a little surprising. I thought I would lose more weight. The stomach is a little bit flatter, which is a good thing. What I think is happening is that some of that extra weight that I've been carrying has been turned into bulk, because my arms are definitely bigger than they were before, and my thighs are definitely a little bit bigger than they were before. So not as much weight as I thought I would lose. I think, after a certain age, belly fat is super stubborn to get rid of. It is definitely much flatter. I think my face is a little bit thinner than it was before. But that's something I would want to try to work on moving forward. So, in terms of my boxing technique and style, it's definitely come a long way. When I first started, my hooks were not very good. My stance was not great. Now, I've seemed to develop a really nice little sharp jab, which is to me kind of important to my fighting style. Using the jab to kind of set everything else up. I've got a really nice jab. I've got some nice head movements. I've got some nice lows and slips and ducks kind of thing, and I can move around in the ring pretty well. My footwork is much better now. Again, I don't cross the feet like I used to. One thing I do need to work on more is working on the defensive part of it. If you notice, or not if you notice, but what I've noticed a lot is that when people spar, even the Golden Gloves gloves, they don't like to kind of get within mid range to short range because they're worried about getting hit. So it's a lot of kind of outer range in terms of throwing punches at each other. For me, my I with my style and technique, I need to kind of get within mid range to be effective, which means I need to work on be able to duck and roll out of punches and seeing them and reacting to them quickly and correctly. So that's something I need to definitely work on moving forward. Um, the other thing I need to work on, as mentioned before, is increase my stamina. I still need to do way better in terms of my cardio. I think it's not where it needs to be. I probably am thinking about trying to improve my diet. I have tried the fasting diet, intermittent fasting. Just one problem with that is that often when I'm done with a session or class, I'm absolutely starving. My body is starving for something, so it's very hard not to have something to eat right after class because my body's like aching and jonesing for something to eat. So, um, what else can I talk about? So that is kind of the main, you know, where I am now. And overall, I think I'm in a really good place. One thing I need to do, I need to, in order to kind of complete the U.S. boxing registration form, I need to go out and get a physical to make sure that I'm actually able and physically fit to compete in the ring. Once I do that, then we can really start talking about setting up a competition. I mean, I can do like sparring with people, fine, but in order to do an actual USA boxing competition, I need to have like that physical and get the card and make sure that I'm good to go. So that's something I need to set up. It's kind of on my list to try to do next week. So overall, I am really happy and pleased with where I am. There are of course tough days. There are days where it's really hard to drive over and do the physical workout and feel like you're being tortured a little bit. Or some days, as one of the guys put it, they says some days I'm not sure I want to wake up, go to the gym, and get punched in the face, which is a very legitimate thing. So but you keep pushing forward. The gym is super good at making sure that people are not put in situations that are uncomfortable. That if you don't feel like sparring somebody, you don't have to spar. There's no judgment. There's no one looks down on you. Everyone is very supportive of each other. So that's about it. I just want to take some time and talk about where I think I am and how I feel at this point. Um, Moving forward, the next 4 months, hopefully soon, I'll be able in an actual competition, which is crazy to think of. When I first started this, to think that I actually would be in a position to get into the ring in a real competition and throw punches and have punches thrown at me and hopefully have a positive outcome at the end of it. So, um, life is strange. This goes to show you're not too young or not too old to try something different. And you will have your failures, but you also have your very successful days. So, love to you all and speak to you soon.